Hi, I'm Dr. Rick Morales, President of Morales Associates. Our firm does three things. We develop leaders, we advance individuals and teams, and we strengthen company cultures. These case studies are intended to share with you examples of the type of work our team delivers. This next case is called Elephants in the Room. We received a call from the founder of a privately held firm who was interested in some help with succession planning. After we interviewed him for quite a bit of time, we discovered that what we had instead was a perfect storm of bad relationships between the members of his team, which would have made succession planning fairly difficult. This lack of trust, lack of focus, and tension among these team members, of course, was spilling over into the rest of the firm. It was causing negative reactions in their young professional staff to the point where many of them were leaving. So what we did was conduct a cultural audit as part of our process. Went in and interviewed about 80% of the people in the firm, find out what they were interested in, take a look at some of their issues, look at what they'd like to see the firm be like, and how they'd like to see it move forward. The results of these were compiled in a report. We shared these with the leadership team, and it hit them like a ton of bricks. None of this information was new to them. They had been feeling this and experiencing this for a number of years, but folks were just a bit too afraid to talk about it or to bring it up in meetings, i.e. the elephants in the room. What ended up happening was, of course, a very tough series of conversations among these team members, which we facilitated, about the data, about the issues that had come up, that had been, sort of moving the firm sideways for a number of years. And so when we finally got to a point of alignment with the leadership team, we conveyed this information to the rest of the firm, the people who had filled out the survey. Of course, they were immediately surprised by the level of candor that they were hearing from their leaders and the level of commitment about how they wanted to move the firm forward with their help. This created a new burst of energy. This created a new sense of ownership around how the team was going to move forward. Now keep in mind that this was all happening right around the time of the financial collapse of 2008. And this was a firm that was very much focused on making money like most firms were. However, in the case of this particular firm, that was really their only driving value in practice, not necessarily in terms of what they preached, but in terms of how they actually practiced managing and leading and relating to each other on a day-to-day basis. So what happened was that these vexing issues, these elephants in the room, ended up surfacing to the point where they were pretty much immobilized. We addressed that through the cultural audit. They addressed it through honest conversation and dialogue with each other. And they were able to then recommit so they could get the kinds of outcomes that would help them move forward, which they did. People started coming back to the firm. They were more energized in terms of, and more focused around their roles and responsibilities. There was a recommitment and a reigniting of the kind of energy that they had started out with. So the lesson for us was that no matter how important money is, of course it is to any kind of enterprise, being able to turn a profit, but not at the expense of addressing the internal issues, the people issues, the so-called soft skills that we need to also make part of how we lead, the emotional intelligence that pertains to how we're being treated, how we address conflict, how we communicate with each other, and how we generate the kind of trust that it takes to move the firm forward. These people did it, they were successful, and they're still successful. To learn more, you can reach us at our website, www.morales-associates.com.